got an appointment. We went to the St. Gallen Center. This is where they do all the research for ALS, and unfortunately it was ALS. I don't know if you remember, back in 2014 the internet blew up with this challenge, the Ice Bucket Challenge. The Ice Bucket Challenge was to raise awareness for ALS. Alright guys, okay, so let's get it together, do this video. So as you know, I've been off YouTube for a few months, and yeah, as you see the title, my husband is or was diagnosed with ALS, myotrophic lateral sclerosis. The Ice Bucket Challenge was to raise awareness for ALS. And back then in 2014, I think I did the Ice Bucket Challenge for my Facebook page, but I didn't know what it was for. And so when he got diagnosed with ALS, I still wasn't sure what is this ALS, even though prior to that I was working with a lady who had a neurological disease, and it's something like ALS. It's in the same realm, but it was not ALS. So she had MS, which is a motor neuron disease. Yeah, I did the challenge and I didn't know what it was, and when he got diagnosed, I still wasn't sure what this disease is and what the implications are, you know, what the symptoms are. And so I went into like a deep dive and just informed myself about what it is and what is to come and so on. And so it took us very, very long to get to this point of sharing, and he wants me to share with you guys because he also wants to increase awareness about the disease, right? It can be sporadic and it can be genetic. The tests that he has done, it shows that it's not genetic. So it's not in his genes, so it's sporadic. Where it came from, we don't know. So what is ALS? I would advise you guys to go do your research, but basically I'm gonna read now. I'm gonna read because I don't want to blab all over the place. ALS is a nervous system disease that affects the nerve cell in the brain and the spinal cord. So ALS causes loss of muscle control, and the disease gets worse over time. So technically it is fatal. No one has ever been cured from this disease. It's 100% fatal so far. The Ice Bucket Challenge was to bring awareness and to gain money to raise money for research, for medicine and stuff. But until now they haven't found anything. My husband is taking Relotec, and that's I don't want to say what I don't know, but it's a trial medication. That I know it's a trial medication from the St. Gallen University, and he's been taking that, and what that should do is to reduce or slow down the progression of the disease. So how he realized that something was wrong is he had a lot of difficulties walking, and he went to his doctor, and over time it got worse. So this has been going on now for maybe 3 years, but he didn't know why it was happening. He was thinking it's starting from medication, other medications he was taking. Sorry. And so he did he went to the doctor, and they tried different things. You know, his doctor also listened to him. He didn't force anything on him. But then eventually no medication was working, so the doctor suggested a neurological test, because over time we realized he couldn't walk. It was getting worse. You know, he then didn't go out anymore. Yeah, and one time he took the dog out for a walk, and the dog pulled him over, not intentionally, but because the muscles were getting weak, you know, he couldn't control himself. So anyways, what am I saying? Yes, so he eventually did the neurological test, and it came back that something was wrong. And we were worried, but we were hoping it wasn't ALS. And it was, okay, something neurologically is wrong. Maybe it's a lesser neurological disease. Anyways, we got an appointment. We went to the St. Gallen Center. This is where they do all the research for ALS, and unfortunately it was ALS. That was a tough day. And even though I didn't understand fully what the disease was, I saw the fear in his eyes, you know, and the tears, and you know, his pain, and we both cried together. And then I decided, let me inform myself about the disease. And so I did, and I realized, oh my God, this is serious. So basically what has been happening for the almost a year, or since he had problems walking, but it has gotten worse for the past year. So what has been happening is that he's losing his the muscles are basically dying, and now he's in his wheelchair. Now he's using a wheelchair. He can make few steps, but he's very unstable because the nerve in his hands, in his feet. So this affects, as I said, the spinal cord and the brain. So there's no coordination anymore with the muscles, with certain muscles and the brain, you know. So his fingers to write stuff, he can't anymore. He can't write. He cannot really walk. He can't walk. So even in the house, he's using his wheelchair. And I remember maybe 2 months ago, or maybe more than that, but let's say 4 months ago, he was able to use the walker to walk around the house. And now we are not taking that risk anymore, so he's using his wheelchair. And another really bad symptom that he has with the ALS is breathing. So that's another symptom of ALS, when you have difficulty breathing. And so he got pneumonia twice since the diagnosis. Twice. He was in intensive care. We weren't sure what was going to happen. We were so scared. I was so scared because, you know, it was horrible time. But you know what? I don't know if you are religious, but God is who kept me sane and strong, because as you know, I have a small child, and he got diagnosed last year, April 2024, and that means my baby was not 1 year old. And so having to deal with the diagnosis and a small child, everything was chaotic, and God kept me sane. I kept on praying for patience, because this is all new territory for me, and I will have to be taking care of him because, you know, the disease is debilitating. Is that the word? Yeah, you know. And so how was I going to take care of him and take care of the baby and function? And to make matters even, I wouldn't say worse, but I also got a job, which I'm still doing. So now I'm taking care of my husband, taking care of the baby, and working. But when the diagnosis just happened, it was a lot. We had to move from the house that we were living because of the stairs. So he couldn't climb the stairs anymore. And so now we're in a smaller apartment with an elevator. So yeah, we can get from point up to down. My sister came over for that time for 3 months and helped with the move, helped me with the baby. So that was a huge help. And he stayed in ICU and rehabilitation altogether for about 2 months, 2.5 months. And then he came home in the summer. And then in October, was it October or September? Pneumonia. And he went back into the ICU and then went to rehabilitation. And yeah, and the rehabilitation center that he was at the second time was in the mountains because they wanted him to get some fresh air. You know, the elevation is different, so the air quality is different. And it helped a lot. And he came home like a month and a half after that. And then he's been home since, even though he's getting, the muscles are getting weaker. So what that means for me, what that means for him is he moves less, right? And he's scared to do stuff, you know. It's a new situation for him, not being able to control his body how he wants to. And so for him, it's a new situation. And by the way, I'm telling his story because he refused camera. He doesn't want it, but he wants his story to be told. Yeah, and for me, that means I am doing everything at home. He tries to play with the baby, try to help me if I'm cooking or when I'm cooking. He entertains the baby with his wheelchair. The baby loves the wheelchair, so he's always riding on the wheelchair. It's an electric wheelchair, so he entertains the baby with this. And yeah, he was a very, he was a very hands-on person. So it was an adjustment for me to do everything in the house. But I think it's getting better. It's not easy. I would not tell you that it's easy, but it has gotten a lot better because I'm now I know what I'm doing now, you know. With that said, it's a lot of things that we still need to do, we still need to plan. So you might be thinking, how do you guys financially survive, you know, with all the hospital bills, with all the expenses? How do you survive? So I'll make a separate video for that. Sorry, I'll make I need to drink. I've been talking a lot. And not to forget my friends. I have a few friends here. They have been extremely helpful in the times that I needed them. You know, everybody has to work and do their stuff, but my friends have been really supportive, and I just want to use this platform to thank them for their support. You know, I don't want to start calling names because then I don't want to miss somebody and someone feel offended, but they know themselves. Some of them were with me at the rehabilitation center. Some were babysitting Shadon when I have to run to the hospital, you know. So I have a handful of friends here, not many, but the ones I have, they've been really supportive, and I want to thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it, and I know they still have my back. Shadon recently we got a new babysitter, and she's also understand the situation, and she's also very helpful. That's where he's right now. She told me, hey, bring Shadon, he can play with my daughter, and I thought it would be a good time now to make this video. I hope this brought some awareness about ALS to you. I'm not very scientific in explaining how exactly it works, but ultimately what it does, it weakens as the disease progresses, it weakens the muscles, every muscle in your body, you know, even your stomach muscle weakens, all the muscles, and that basically cause all kind of complications for the body. So it's a really horrible disease. It's terrible, and it's really horrible to watch a loved one suffer from this disease. That's the honest truth. And in the beginning, I was terrified. I couldn't sleep. I wasn't sleeping, and you know, it's just fear. Now what we've been doing to kind of overcome that fear, what I've been doing, and I think Hano too has been doing that, we're just living our lives like normal. We're making normal plans. Of course, we very often times we are reminded that he's sick. For example, if we're at the dinner table and we're eating and he swallows wrong, then he coughs or he needs to use the cough assist, then we are reminded, hey, things are not like before. We have to be careful. So, but otherwise we try to make plans. We are still alive, you know. That's what I tell him as well. Even though the diagnosis is fatal, it's terminal, maybe is a better word. We still know what we have now is life, and we have to live it, you know. And so that's what we do, and that's how we're coping with the situation now. All right, so I hope this made sense, and you know now why I've been missing from YouTube for so long, even though I've tried to come back many times. But now you know why I've been pretty silent. We're going through a lot. And yeah, so if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share the video, because you never know, someone might want to hear this story, you know, because yeah, this disease is horrible, and I think the sooner you know, it's the more time you have to organize stuff, to plan what's happening, and you know. So anyways, so hit the like, subscribe button, share. As I said, we're still living. Yeah, even though he has a terminal illness, we're still living. He's still living. We are still living. Okay, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the other video. Cheers.